It should be on, yep. It's on.
Yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. I want to start off by saying thank you for staff for their support, and also thank the commissioners for their attendance. We have the president of our board is via telephone today, so you'll hear him via phone. Roll call, please, Mrs. Gonzalez.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before we take roll call, there's a new Assembly Bill 2449 that was recently passed on January 1st, 2023. Because chairperson is calling in virtually, there's two causes in which he can attend virtually per this Assembly Bill. One is just cause, and the second is emergency. Commissioner Eric Martinez is using the just cause clause. And as such, I do have to ask Commissioner, is there any individuals in the room with you that are over 18?
No, there is not.
Thank you. So as you can see, Assembly Bill is meant for fair political practices. And so we can now reconvene the meeting. And as Commissioner Martinez mentioned, Commissioner Eric Martinez, our typical chairperson, is attending virtually, and Commissioner Robert Martinez will be the acting chairperson for tonight. So with that, I will take roll call. Commissioner Solis.
Here.
Commissioner Elizaldes.
Present.
Commissioner Rocha.
Here.
Acting chairperson Robert Martinez.
Here, I'm here.
And Commissioner Eric Martinez.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, number C on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance. Mrs. Rocha, can you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Yes, can everybody please stand up?
Raise the flag, right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Rocha, Commissioner Rocha. Number D, public hearing. We're here, public hearing, conditional use permit number 756. It's an application for a type 41 alcohol license. It's an on-site beer and wine for the Bonafide restaurant. Let's see here, Development Director.
Thank you, Commissioners and Chairperson. Our Assistant Planner, sorry, Eba. Planning Technician, I apologize. Eba Soleimani will give us a presentation.
Yes. All right. Good evening, Chairperson and members of the Planning Commission. Could we get the presentation? That's not it. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so this evening's public hearing is for conditional use permit number 756, which is a request for a type 41 alcohol license for on-sale beer and wine for the restaurant Yume, located at 6730 Rosemead Boulevard in the General Commercial Zone District. So the subject site was developed in 1973, and the restaurant Sizzler operated at that site from 1973 until its closure in 2020, and the site has been vacant since then. Sizzler also had a Type 41 alcohol license for on-sale beer and wine, but at the time that Sizzler obtained their alcohol license, a CUP was not required for on-sale alcohol licenses, which is why the applicant is now doing their due diligence in getting a Type 41 alcohol license CUP approval. Okay. The restaurant Yume is a sit-down, family-oriented Japanese restaurant serving traditional Japanese cuisine. They will have both booth seating and seating along the sushi bar to total 152 seats. They will have approximately 10 employees. And having had a conversation with the applicant, the hours of operation proposal has changed to 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to midnight Friday and Saturday. The management, Motu Group, is the operator of 33 other restaurants, including Crazy Rockin' Sushi, which you can find in nearby cities like Fullerton, La Puente, and Copan, which you can find close by in the city of Whittier. So plans for interior tenant improvements and for signage were submitted for UME. They were recently approved, and building permits were issued. And this is the proposed signage for the restaurant, along with the freestanding sign proposal. And then this is the floor plan showing the seating arrangements and the sushi bar where the service counter was once at. Business license application was also submitted recently and pending approval from both Building and Safety and LA County Health. So shown on the map with the red dashed line, 6730 Rosemead is located within Census Tract 5008. And according to the 2020 census, the population within this tract is approximately 5,300. Based on the population level, ABC guidelines recommend 5 on-sale alcohol licenses as the concentration limits. And the table below here on the slide provides a list of the existing on-sale licenses within the census tract. So there are currently 5 that have been issued for the census tract, and Sizzlers was the 6th at one point until they closed, and of course their alcohol license was not renewed and therefore expired. But currently, the CUP before the Planning Commission this evening will result in 6 on-sale alcohol licenses within the census tract, which is one more than ABC's guidelines recommends. However, a finding of public convenience or necessity can be made, given that the restaurant will provide for additional dining options within the census tract and will not be a public nuisance to the neighboring residents or the community, but rather complement the surrounding uses. It's also planning staff's understanding that although ABC's website does indicate Nights In's alcohol license, which is number 2 on the list there, Nights In, as active, their alcohol license is not operational as alcohol is not being sold on the premises. The site provides a total of 63 parking stalls, and per Pico Rivera's Municipal Code 18.44, a total of 51 parking stalls are required for this restaurant, and so there is an excess of parking on the site. There will also be 2 parking stalls designated specifically for takeout and delivery. For security, an alarm system to secure the restaurant during non-business hours will be provided, with a total of 9 cameras within the interior and exterior of the restaurant. A request for a comments letter was also sent to local law enforcement for consideration and possible conditions of approval, but the LA County Sheriff's Department did not express any concern about the applicant's proposal. In addition, mail-outs were sent out to residents and businesses within a 300-foot radius of the site for any comments, but there have been no responses from either as of this evening. And so some of the conditions of approval included in the CUP include alcohol is to be served in conjunction with food service only. An alarm system from a bona fide security company shall be installed and maintained in working order. And signage for beer, liquor, and wine products shall be prohibited on the exterior of the building. And in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines and according to the provisions contained in the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, the project is exempt per section 15301, class 1A, under existing facilities. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt conditional use permit number 756, subject to conditions of approval. Staff is now available to answer any questions. We also have in attendance this evening the applicant to answer any questions. Thank you.
Eva, thank you so much. That was a good report. Any questions?
I got a question.
Let me do this here, Tommy. Let me just go. We're still public hearing DB as in boy. I'm going to open it up to public hearing. Is there any questions from the public? And if so, state your name, your residency, and sign in. Any questions from the audience? None, so let the record reflect there is no questions. Now I'm going to go to DD D, we're going to deliberate and then ask for any questions from the commission. Are there any questions? Okay, Tommy, go ahead.
You were saying the Knights Inn, do they still have the types of 47 license? They're just not serving currently? Is that what's happening?
That seems to be the case. ABC's website does show that they have an active alcohol license, but they are not serving alcohol on the site, is what we've been told.
Yeah, staff visited the Knights Inn approximately a month to a month and a half ago, and the restaurant is not operational.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that they've relinquished their license. They
Right, that
simply
was-
are not operating the restaurant, and they're not obliged to relinquish it anyway.
Okay, that's what I was concerned. And you mentioned that the Sizzler, it wasn't required to have a PUC when they applied for their beer and wine license, correct?
Yes, so they obtained their alcohol license in 1973. It doesn't seem that a conditional use permit or CUP was required until possibly around 1977 or 1978. And so their alcohol license was legal non-conforming. They never
Okay.
required a CUP.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Solis, you have any questions?
No, I have no questions.
None? I have none. Mrs. Rocha, any questions?
No questions.
No questions. Let the record, there's no question.
Excuse me, Robert?
I'm sorry?
Oh, may I ask a question?
Oh, yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Eric, out of sight, out of mind, I'm sorry. I started to be rude. Eric, do you have any questions? I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm just not in attendance, so I had a quick question for staff, just to ensure that condition 12 of the CUP, was that revised for the revised hours of operation that were given?
We have a septic.
Yes, so we will have to revise the resolution and the agenda report to reflect the most recent change in hours of operation.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Just wanted to make sure that that was reflected.
Thank you.
Ms. Martinez, any other questions? Eric?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, I missed you. I completely forgot about you. I'm sorry. Let's move on to D. Commission to deliberate and make a motion. Do we have a motion to approve? So we have a first was by Commissioner Solis. We have a second?
I approve.
Okay, we have a second by Mrs. Rocha. Roll call, please. Mrs. Gonzalez?
Commissioner Solis?
Yes.
Commissioner Lizaldes?
Aye.
Commissioner Rocha?
Yes.
Acting Chairperson?
Yes.
Robert Martinez? And Chairperson Eric Martinez?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so can we move on to agenda item D? Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on this behalf? If so, state your name, sign in, and your residence. Anybody? Nobody? Let the record show that there's no comments from the audience. We'll move on to F. Consent calendar. I show there's none on the agenda. Is that correct, Mr. Gonzalez?
That's correct.
Okay, let's move on to G, Planning Commission reports. Any report from the commissioners? None?
I have
None.
none, yeah.
Okay, none shown. H, on page 2, new business, I show that there's none. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I, old business, any old business? I show none? None? None. Let me request a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
We got a first from Commissioner Tommy, and we have a second.
Yes.
Okay, we have a second from Commissioner Rocha. It is 6:14. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Solis?
Yes.
Commissioner Lizaldes?
Aye.
Commissioner Rocha?
Yes.
Acting Chairperson Robert Martinez?
Yes.
And Commissioner Martinez?
Yes.
Okay, meeting's adjourned.